Hello everybody, I am Byron from That Guy Another Guy and Angel and Demon, and today I will be showing you how to make GIFs. The programs that we will be using are the VLC Media Player, Adobe Bridge, and Adobe Photoshop. I have Adobe CS6 and Bridge CS6, and the most updated version of VLC Media Player. So I won't include, or I can't like just tell you how to get Photoshop or Bridge unless you buy it. But I'll provide the link for the VLC Media Player. It is free to download. Oh god. Once the video is uploaded. So first of all, what you have to do is open the VLC Media Player. This is what it looks like. What you're gonna do is you have to adjust your settings to where your photos will open wherever you want them to and whatnot. So we'll go to Tools, Preferences. Now what you want to do is you go to Video. Well, I guess we can just go through everything. You won't need to change anything for interface unless you want to. Nothing for audio, obviously, because it's GIFs. Video, you obviously want to enable video. Nothing should really be changed for that except video snapshots. You should set wherever you want your videos to go. For mine are at my desktop under what is it? Screen caps. I just made a folder called screen caps and then put it on my desktop and set it there. So yeah, it's at desktop screen caps. The prefix should be the same, VLC snap, and your format is a PNG. Now your that's done with that, and then you want to go to hotkeys. When you go to hotkeys, you want to scroll down until you see take video snapshot right here. Just mine's set to S because it's, I don't know, it's just set to S. That's what I wanted to be. So you set it to whatever key you can tap like really fast at without it actually doing anything bad to it. So just like, I don't know, you can put it for C, you can put it for V. S was like the thing that I don't think anything was like taken for as a key for this program, so I just chose S. So yeah, S, then press apply and then save, and that all should be good. Now you're gonna go to find your, or whatever you want, whatever you want to make a GIF of. What I'm going to do is go to, where is it? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take from the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Oh, this is a preview of it. We don't need that. You take it and drag it into there, or you can open file from your media thing and it'll start playing. What I would like to go to is an hour and 42 minutes. I have a preset thing because we don't want to watch the whole movie, obviously. You wanna know what you want to make a GIF of. So temporarily we're just gonna make a GIF of Scott Pilgrim and Knives Chow getting it in against Gideon. So we wait for our scene, and then get your finger ready to press the S button. You want to take a picture of as many things as you can, just so you can get coverage. So you see at the top, we see that we're getting pictures of everything. You want to try and get a picture of as many frames as you can per second. That way it looks smoother whenever you're done with it. Okay, so I stopped pressing the S button at this point, but it kept going because there are so many frames to take, and I pressed the button faster than it could actually like keep up with, so it was gonna keep going for a while. That's just what happens. Okay, it's done now, but we can always go back to it. And if you don't feel comfortable with the amount of frames that you've taken, like I don't really at all, but all you have to do is come to the VLC meteor where this 1 times is, and then drop it down, and then it'll go slower. And now you can take, you know, you can be a lot easier on the keys, but you can also grab as many frames as you can because the time is, and because it's slowed down. But we're gonna go back up to 1. All right, so now that you grab your frames, you are done with VLC Media Player for now, and then you want to open Adobe Bridge. Once you are in Adobe Bridge, I have it set right here, but to your side, to the side, you're gonna see, I wish I can drag it, okay. It's gonna say favorites or folders. You just go to, you wanna navigate to where your screen caps are. So mine's on desktop, and then screen caps, and then your screen, it'll show you all the screen caps that you've taken. So now you want to choose the ones that you did take, the ones that you wanted at least. Where are the ones that I wanted? Are these them? Yeah, it's not really good. Maybe these are better. No, not entirely. Okay, well this is purely for example anyway. But alright, so starting here and ending right about here, that's the amount of GIFs you can take. You can click, hold, shift, and then do that to select all of them, or do the control thing, you know how. And now, once you've had all of yours selected, the ones that you want to use, you go to Tools, and then Photoshop, and then Load Files into Photoshop Layers. You want to load them into the Photoshop layers, and then Photoshop will open with all of the PNG photos in individual layers. So it's gonna load them now. I think there were about maybe 15. So yeah, okay, less than that. So what you want to do once you're in Photoshop is go to Window, and then make sure you have Timeline selected. You want Timeline selected, otherwise it won't be there. You need Window, Timeline, and then it shows you this at the bottom of the screen. Now what you want to do once you open the timeline, you don't have to highlight all these. You just go to this little drop down menu right here, and then press Make Frames from Layers. You click that, and then it takes all of them and puts them on there. Now if you play it back and it goes backwards, if you can kind of see, you don't want backwards. Then if they do that, you go back to the drop down menu and you press reverse frames. Once you press that, they should all play in the right direction. Yeah, so those are in the right directions. And if you notice, it's going super fast, really fast, like it doesn't even look like an actual GIF. You want to highlight all of them, and where it says 0 seconds right here, drop down menu, a good thing to choose is 0.1 seconds, but you could always do other. So if we choose 0.1 seconds, if we look at the GIF, it still seems a little too fast. So we want to slow it down just a tad, drop, and then you go 0. I don't know, it was at 0.1, so we'll do 1, 2 or something like that. And then when you play it back, it's slowed down a little bit, so it looks more like an actual, it looks more like real time like for the video. So yeah, this is not a good GIF, but this is purely for example. But so yeah, 1 to 11, you pretty much made your GIF so far. What you want to do now is, if you want to set them to a certain, this is more for like Tumblr or anything, or if you just want to resize them, highlight all of them, go to layer, image, and then image size, and then well, for Tumblr it's 500 by 271. Well, you want the width to be 500. I think the height will be like 271, 272ish, or 270. But you want the width to always be 500, because that's just how they want it to be. Otherwise, you won't be able to put it on Tumblr. Because you want it to be a certain size. I mean, file size. I think the file size has been moved up to 1.5 megabytes, but it used to be 1 megabyte. So there was a lot you had to do if you wanted a bigger GIF to go on to Tumblr. But now that we have this, we can zoom in a little bit. Or we can, well, let's put it back a little bit because it's a little blurry. Okay, we'll put it right here. And now, this is also for Tumblr. If you would like to put a little watermark on the side, you know, signifying that it's your GIF, you put the effort into it, blah, blah, blah. Take your text bar, make your text 9 font, or I mean, you can do whatever font you want, but it's the font that's like, it's not too much in the way. And then you just write your little name, you could put like, you don't have to put like .tumblr.com or anything, you could just, you know, write your name. So now we have, you can't really see that, but it's right there. Oh, okay, let's change it a little bit. Let's go up to about an 11 font. Okay, now we have it at the top. It's right there. It's in white, and it's taking place of the, like, you can see it very well in the GIF, but you want it to be there, but you don't want it to be taking place of the GIF to where it just like it's over encapsulating. That makes sense in my head. So you just go over here to your title, your text box, and then it says opacity, one of those. You want to drop it down to about 20, I guess, from like 13% to like 35%. Like, it's still there, you can see it, but it's not, you know, boom, right there. So we'll drop it down to about 27%. And then let's look at what it looks like. It's gonna be bad, but oh, whoops. Okay. So now we play it. It's them kicking them around, and now we have our GIF. So if you're satisfied with what you see and you want to put it on Tumblr, then that's good. If you, all right, so we have it ready. If you go to File, well, first you want to save it. You want to save it as a PSD so that you can go back to it as a reference whenever you need to. What I did was I made a PSDs folder. It has all of my PSDs of my GIFs and maybe a few other things, but save it as whatever you want. Save it as a PSD, then press save. I'm not going to keep this, so I don't really need it. Also, and then when you're done with that, you want to come back to the file and then press save for web. Once you're in the save for web, you can see that you want it to be, you can save it as a GIF, a JPEG, a PNG, but we're going to save it as a GIF. You can start with a 128 dithered. That's going to be probably, you know, it's safe settings usually. You can see that your GIF is 649.1 kilobytes right here, and you can see how many colors are available. We have 128 colors. Your dither is how smooth it's going to be. Since we're at 649 kilobytes, we can go up to 1.5 megabytes. So our options for colors can go all the way to 256. So we're going to choose 256, and now we're at 729K. Our dither can go all the way to 100 now, and now it's 800K. So we still have a good amount of space left. So if you needed to add a few more frames, if you wanted to, you know, such and such, then that's it. Now if we play it back, it looks like it was taken straight from the movie, not just like messed around with on Photoshop, and that's good. So yeah, we have an 800K GIF, and then you just press save, and then it asks you where you want to save it. You know, you can make a GIF folder if you'd like to. Save it as whatever. Keep the format and the settings the same, and then press save. And then you have your GIF created. Now, a common problem is the size over, like if you go too high over the size. For example, so if I went back and took I don't know, for instance, took all of these frames from here to here, we have 47 selected. We go to Window, Tools, Photoshop, load files to Photoshop layers. Got to give it a minute because it's 47 pictures, so it's going to take a while to put on. But all right, so apparently I left the subtitles on. That was an accident. But do the same thing we did before. Make frames from layers. Then it'll put them all in there. See if they play backwards. They do. So you go there, reverse frames, and then they should play. It should play forward, and it does. So we're gonna highlight all of them, just so you can do them all at the same time. It's useful. Select your time. We're gonna go to 0.1. See if it's at the same speed, and it's still too fast. So we're gonna go to about 0.12 again. You usually want to be within the 0.12 0.1 range. Sometimes you'll have to go to 0.2, or you're going to be within 0.1 to 0.2. But if you want to make a fast GIF, then you're going to go lower than 0.1, like 0.08, 0.07, something like that. But we play it back, and yeah, we have 47 frames, and it seems like it's going to be pretty big, right? So we want to change the image size. We go back to 500. Press OK. Then it's going to change all of them to 500. That already decreased our file size by a lot. Now, regular GIF. Let's zoom in some. And now you want to put your watermark back on it. Oops. Then we write text, type that in, move it to the corner, or you can move it wherever you want, wherever it is seen easily. Then you change your opacity, and now you play it back. It looks nice. Everything's done. So now you go File, Save for Web, and you look and see it's 3 megabytes and 3.017 megabytes. But we have 256 colors, and the dither is 100%. First, we want to check and see GIF 128 dithered. It changes your colors to 128 and your dither to 88%. But it didn't move your GIF size down at all. Well, it did, but not enough. You're at 2.298 megabytes. Now, what we could do is lessen the dither, and like we put it to 45%. But do you see what it does? Like, everything it's kind of smooth. If you put it at 100, you can see it's smooth. Like, it's smooth for a GIF. But then if you put it down to 48, it looks all choppy. Like there are colors everywhere that or colors stick out more because there are a lot less. And the further you go down, the less the file size is going to be, granted, but it's going to look bad. And the colors, if you change those to 64, now it's going to look even worse, and you're going to have, this is all stuff you want to do to get down to 1.15. Now we're at 1.2 right now. We can go about right there, and we're at 64 colors, and the dither is 65%, and this is what it looks like when you make it. Now for a Tumblr, it's not too good because you want to make a GIF that looks nice, and it looks like this. Now, granted, I mean, if you wanted to put a GIF up, I'm sure no one would complain too much. They'd be like, oh, hey, Scott Pilgrim, that's awesome. But, if you wanted to be like really professional about it, things that you could do are most definitely lessen some frames. If you feel like you have too many, or you feel like you can take some out where they need to, please do. That that helps the most. And also, if you choose, if there are colors that are too hot, like this pink, you can go to brightness, contrast, and then bring the brightness lower or bring the brightness higher. That'll also change a little bit based on your colors, but usually you go to like -11 for each one, and that helps a little bit, but not too much. The most thing that helps is you taking frames off. So yeah, let's just cut these frames. Whoops, you have to go to delete frames, sorry. So now we have 35 frames. We go to File, Save for Web. Let's make it a 128. And now look, 1.64 megabytes. You can change that a little bit if you just take the dither down. Now it's 1.459. And it looks a lot better than what you had before. So yeah, you can cancel that. That's how you make a GIF. Thank you for watching the tutorial. If you needed to know how to do it, put it on Tumblr. You just go to Photo, choose up to 10 photos, and you go to your GIFs folder. And then you can take, I don't know, Tyranitar, for instance. And it gives you a preview of what you upload. Then you can type in a caption right here. You can upload another GIF. You can upload as many GIFs as you want, but each GIF is 1.5 megabytes or lower. So yeah, you can add a hyperlink to it. You can add tags to it if you want people to see what you made. And then you do what you want with it. You can add it to queue, save as draft, post privately, and then you press post. And that'll do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.